Hey my friends, welcome back to a new video. We are at another beautiful place. We are outside on a beach on an island called Uglan, Croatia. Here and there me and Maya go to places like that to ground ourselves a little bit and to get into the comfort zone and to recharge our batteries. I have a special message for everyone who came across this video, and this is actually a truly important message because often when I see people talking about feeling anxious or feeling like they don't want to do anything, like experiencing this lack of energy, if this is you, my friends, if you're experiencing that brain fog and you just don't want to do anything, this video is for you. Because if we want to make a masterpiece out of our lives, we need to firstly master peace in our lives. So this is actually such an important realization, because how can one master peace in his or her life? Well, peace is always in between one side and another. Harmony is always in between, right? So we need to know one side and another, the comfort and discomfort. If comfort is positive and discomfort is negative, then peace happens in between. So in order to experience that inner peace, that inner harmony, and I want to remind you, in that inner peace, we are in the peak state. We are focused, we are creative, we are productive, we are grounded, we are aligned, we are able to download information from the higher self. We are connected with the source, in tune with the source. Our energy is pure. This is the pure state. The peak state is the middle state. That's why we say we are in the center. We are living from within into, we are able to express what's within outside of us. We are like a channel for expression of that unique energy which is traveling through us. So the problem that people don't know how to step into that middle state is because they're most of their lives living just in one side. If comfort zone is a positive and discomfort is a negative, let's say plus and minus, and everything in nature is balanced with positive and negative. Everything in nature is balanced. The law of rhythm, for example, if you want to move forward, you take one step with the right leg and one step with the left leg, right? Then, if we take a magnet, it's perfectly balanced between the positively charged energy and negatively charged energy, so it can function perfectly well. And then when we look at our lives, we need to ask ourselves, are we creating balance between comfort and discomfort? If I'm living too much of my life in the comfort zone, then that may be the reason that I'm always feeling a lack of energy, that I'm always feeling drained out, that I'm always feeling kind of disconnected from myself. Why is that? Because if you're constantly just on the one side, and we're living in the world of duality, we also need to tap into the other side so we can actually find the middle side, right? If we're constantly living in the comfort, we also need to step into the discomfort. So what it means for somebody who's constantly active, constantly working out, constantly working hard, constantly productive, constantly pushing things, for that person, discomfort is meditation, doing something slow, being present, being conscious, slowing down your mind. That's a discomfort for that kind of a person. But for somebody who's always lazy, always slow, always kinda not grounded, kinda in the clouds, for that person a workout will be discomfort. Doing something hard will be discomfort. Doing something that person is procrastinating on for such a long time will be discomfort. And for somebody who's more extrovert, always with people, always hanging, always, spending time with people, a beautiful thing to do. But for that kind of a person, discomfort will be being alone, being in quietness, being present with him or herself. You see, if we look on life that way, we may recognize that most of the time we are living out of balance. For somebody who's living a life in balance is always swimming between comfort and discomfort. And that's where we create that spiritual, physical balance. Because in that middle side, or in that sweet spot, in the middle spot, we may find ourselves. And how is it possible? Well, my friends, if we learn to take care of our physical body, and we learn to take care of our spirit, we'll always know what's the right thing to do. We'll always know who we are in the process, so we will never do what is not resonating with us. For somebody who's not in balance, that person will hardly decide what's actually healthy for him or her, right? If you find yourself that you're living too much of your life just in one side, you may recognize that certain aspects of your life are completely out of harmony, completely out of balance. It may be financial state, it may be state or something connected with your relationships, it may be something connected with your health, it may be something connected with spirituality. And I don't mean spirituality, just do something spiritual, but actually your spiritual health or your spiritual connection. And it's something I've learned in my life, because if we want to actually take care of all aspects of our lives, we need to find out what is out of balance, what we are avoiding to, because what we are avoiding to is unpleasant, and that's the reason why we are avoiding to that thing. So, if we start looking on everything as plus and minus, if I'm constantly living in that zone of plus, in that positive zone, what's then the negative zone I also need to take care of? Maybe your health is not the best, and then you recognize you're constantly not taking care of your body, and your body is your vehicle. So if you're not taking care of your body, who else will, right? Or if you're constantly physically active, you're in a good shape, you're constantly pushing, but you still feel like something is missing, you're ignoring your spiritual health. And that's important to understand. You can take care of nutrition, you can work out, you can stretch your muscles, but there will always be something missing. Like maybe our emotions will be out of balance, maybe we're constantly seeking more, maybe we're never really happy, we're never really in peace with ourselves. So it's because, something is missing, and we need to find out what we are avoiding, right? So we need to find out that balance between one side and another, and that's where we actually raise our consciousness to the next side. In the video where I was talking about shifting into fifth dimensional consciousness, I was talking about that story when in third dimension we are the character living in a movie. We are like moving in cycles, repeating certain patterns, and not actually questioning why things are the way they are. We are just living and, circulating, repeating certain patterns, repeating certain mistakes, not learning much. And then the fourth dimensional consciousness is like we would step aside a little bit and we would start watching our life on a movie screen. When we see ourselves on that movie screen, we are able to see our patterns. We are able to recognize what are we doing and why are we doing what we are doing. Once we start questioning why are we actually doing what we are doing, we may start receiving answers, right? Like, okay, you're repeating that because you're avoiding that, right? You're unhealthy because you're avoiding that. You are not financially free because you're avoiding maybe working a bit harder on learning some new skills or gaining some new knowledge, or you're not able to see new opportunities which are all around you. And again, the question is, what are you avoiding? Are you afraid that somebody will scam you? Are you afraid that you're just not capable of experiencing new results, or you just feel unworthy. If you feel unworthy, why you feel unworthy? Are you not taking care of your past, your memories from the past, because of certain, again, unpleasant emotions that may be hidden in those memories from the past? Again, something uncomfortable. Being in the comfort zone too much may cause us to start avoiding our memories from the past, which may be unpleasant. But if we are avoiding the memories from the past which are unpleasant, it means that we are suppressing the traumas, or we are suppressing that denser energy. And if you suppress something, doesn't mean that it disappears. It means that it starts storing in your body, in certain area of your body, and longer you're suppressing it, more you will be able to feel it. So faster you start digging deeper into the discomfort, faster you will realize what you need to learn from those memories, and that's where you will release the energy. Sometimes we just need to observe ourselves without judging ourselves. So you see, to get to the point where you stop judging yourself is actually a huge growth, a huge evolution for your soul. So don't be afraid to do that. And then the fifth dimensional consciousness is when we go into the back production and we're able to just change the patterns, change the script of the movie. What it means? It means that you're able to observe your subconscious mind, your subconscious patterns. You see your beliefs, you see what kind of emotions are attached to certain beliefs, and you just change the story. You create a new story of your life, and you start to live that new story, which means that you align your thoughts, your intentions, your beliefs with your emotions of that new story. You feel that new story, and then you act according to that new story. You apply new behaviors. By consistent repetition of something new, we develop new habits. By developing new habits, you've designed new patterns. And once you design new patterns, you've changed your energy. And once you change your energy, your results that you're experiencing in your life will change. That's the cause and effect, the law of cause and effect. You start attracting new results. And you've experienced that so often, I'm sure of that. So often before you've experienced that. When you start doing something new and suddenly you've started experiencing some synchronicities. Like, for example, you've gained let's say a curiosity for a certain new knowledge. You've gained a curiosity for a certain new knowledge, and suddenly a book appears with exactly that topic. You've read a book and suddenly you've learned so much more that you just couldn't ignore it, but you've tried it. So you've started behaving differently, and you've experienced more synchronicities until bigger manifestations came. And suddenly you say, well, it works. Or you've experienced something new, and that's how it works. That's how we start changing. So the message of this video is to actually look at your life, to observe your life from that wider perspective, and see what are you avoiding. Because whatever you're avoiding may actually bring you the greatest possible freedom. Maybe just in the discomfort is the greatest possible opportunity for your greatest possible transformation. So truly think about it, pay attention to that, and see what will happen. Because actually we all know those things. On the soul level we know that. And that's why so often you may feel intuitively attracted to do something completely new. But then you consciously start thinking about it, and you say, well, I think it's just not for me. I don't want to do that. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy of that. We start making up stories, and that's why we never move. That's why we never change. So again, as I mentioned at the beginning, if you want to make a masterpiece out of your life, you need to master peace within your life. So to master peace, you need to find that middle spot. Whatever you do every single day, do also the opposite of that. Find the discomfort, do it. And you know what I've learned about that is that every single morning I go for a run, I go on my bike, I go for a walk, whatever, I need to push myself a little bit, and I need to find that sweet spot, not too much, not too little, just enough to go into the discomfort. Sometimes it might be just a cold shower or going into the cold water. To experience that discomfort, every time I do that, I gain greater clarity. My mind clears out. I experience that clarity, and the energy in the body arises. Eventually, it brings me into the sweet spot, into the middle spot, where I am completely grounded. So sometimes we need to do that, and sometimes we are already in that state. But if we are in places like that, it's much easier to stay in that middle spot. But when we go outside into the world, into big cities, and we do our things, you go to your job, your work, whatever you do, if you're living a busy life, most probably you are on the one side, and you need to go to the other side so we can meet the middle side. And that is truly important. So try it out and you will see for yourself. I know you've experienced that before, and sometimes we just don't know how to put it in words, so we kind of live like it doesn't exist. But actually, that knowledge, it's actually written in our souls, and we know all of that, but sometimes we just tend to ignore it. So my friends, I hope it can inspire you a little bit today. Write in the comments below what you think about it, or what are your experiences with that process of finding the middle spot. And maybe share some practices you do. Maybe you can just help somebody to get into that beautiful state of being. So thanks for watching, my friends. I'm sending you lots of love, blessings, and power. Also, feel free to check out my Instagram page, AttractPassion, where I'm sharing daily messages, quick reminders, and my other Instagram page, I Draw My Passion, where you can find my art gallery. Also, feel free to support my art in my Etsy shop, I Draw My Passion. You're all truly appreciated, my friends. Till next time, have a beautiful day. One love.